Okay, we're gonna try this. Check, check. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Someone said LOL. Jen, Jenk, something. Apparently that's the only person that's in here. Jenk, Jenk, Jenk. Let's see. Oh, whoa, 18 people. You are, I am early. Yes, hola, Robert Rodriguez. Can you all hear me okay? So yes or no? Because I'm trying to do this through my earbuds because I forgot my microphone. Hey, okay, yes, hello. Tony T, Robert C, Kelly, Simone's, you, you rock, Kelly. Hey, Steven. Yep, okay, yeah, you're good. I hear you. Fine. What's up, Randy? Hey, Tony Milito. Howdy, gang. Hello, Randy. Wow, autocorrect is stupid. I concur. You still in the great state of Texas tonight? I am. Yes, we can hear you fine. Okay, there's Richard McCoy. I'm gonna take off one of my earbuds so I'm not yelling. Evening. Hello. Hello. Hi, Taylor. Um, John Stump says hello. Evening. Okay, so I put on this slow thing so people can't like type two messages in a row. But now I don't see any messages. All right. Hopefully I didn't lose y'all somehow. Oh, there we go. Cheers from Houston. First time I've joined. Hey, Sinister Knife Clips. It's a very nice handle. Sinister earbuds as an audiophile. Do you enjoy listening to music on it? On these? Yeah, absolutely. They have an app, so I can you can kind of dial it in. They're have active noise canceling. It's actually they sound really good, and surprisingly so. Now they don't have any soundstage, but they sound great. What is the best closebacks under 700? Well, that's an interesting question, artificial intelligence, because I currently have the Focal Alesia, which I know it's discontinued, but I also have the Dan Clark Aeon RT closed, which are $500, and the Aeons, if you can find them, they're about $500. And then I have the Bear or Drop Bear Dynamic 177X Go. They're all really good. Um, if I had to choose, I mean, they're all a little bit different. Bears are really fun. Those 177X. Oh, Meze. Yeah, Meze is very good too. They're a warmer headphone though, for sure. Um, I kind of like the 177Xs right now, just because maybe it's different. I think the Dan Clarks are probably overall the most even keeled and exciting at the same time. Um, the Dan Clarks are really good. They're more difficult to drive though than the Bears, and the Mezes are great sounding, but they're a more laid back headphone. I'm good, one track mind. Is there a bone conducting headphone with good sound? Silver Elvis, I haven't spent any time with bone conducting headphones. Hey B, hey Brock, Girling, hey, hey man, hey. Rumor has it Bluetooth will be lossless soon. I did. I saw something on John Darko's channel about aptX lossless or something like that, which is cool. But bear in mind, you have to have the device and the headphones both have to have the same Bluetooth codec. Otherwise, it won't work. So all the devices need to come out. Maybe that can be a firmware update. But more importantly, it's going to have to be the headphones that have to have that same codec, if that makes sense. I did get a haircut. It's happy haircut and beard trim day and go to work day in Houston. Oh, I give it away where I'm at. An experience with Polk Signature S55. Greetings from Chile. Greetings. Danilo Martinez. Danilo Martinez. I don't think I have heard the S55. I think I've got one review on the Polk S series, and they sounded really good. Sounded very good. Thank you. Nice haircut. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to know what you're up to, man. I would like to know if you have any new upcoming reviews. Yes. Should be one up on Friday. Besides Metallica, what is your favorite band? Hmm. If I had to choose one, it'd probably be Nirvana. Nirvana. Probably Nirvana. Yeah. I'm a big fan. I was listening to the Insecticide record on the way down here today. Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing how the small and big Emotiva amps compare. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Richard, I haven't tried out Dirac yet, but I'm going to. I'm going to get it on my computer and I'm going to give it a try. I'm really excited about it, frankly. And really, what I really like to do is just pull the trigger on a receiver that has Dirac in it, because I'm not always going to be, playing. The source is not always going to be my computer. So I would love to have Dirac in a component, and the cheapest component that I could find that has a digital out is about $800. So I don't know. I would love to have it in a component because then I can mess around with. I feel like with a computer, I'm kind of tethered to it, but that's the cheapest way to go right now. What records do you use for testing speakers? I have a test track playlist. It's in the description of almost all of my videos. It is a Amazon Music playlist, and if you're in the North America, you can listen to it. I think some other folks have made it into a Spotify playlist as well. But yeah, it's there's like 60 or 70 songs on there that I use. I would really like to know what is the best way to take action on my goals. Well, that's to take each goal and break it up into the steps that it takes to achieve that goal, and then break those down into the steps that it takes to achieve the steps to achieve your goal, and then start knocking out one at a time. Noise canceling? Question mark. These are these are pretty good. Um, oh, new budget IEM that is stellar, $50. Chipoan Melee. Uh, I'm a sucker for a $50 IEM. I will buy those all day long, like candy. And I shouldn't, but I will. Like I will buy five of them instead of just like asking somebody, hey, what's a really good $200 IEM? Then I'll have five of the cheap $50 ones. Hey, Randy, what do you think about me pairing the Denon PMA 600NE with the ELAC Debut 2.0 B6.2? Think it's going to be good, nice. It's going to be warmer because that amp's got some juice, some thickness to the bottom end. But that's going to be a good pairing with that speaker because that Denon is pretty high current, and the ELAC's like a bit of current. So yeah. Hey, hello from Austin, Texas. What up, Joe? 6640. I got new Iron Maiden. I just imagine that's what you sound like. I got new Iron Maiden. Awesome. Bifrost or Aries. I think that means Aries. I almost said something else. I have to pick one. Scott, I would go with Aries. Thoughts on The Blacklist, the television show? I like it. It's pretty good. You've reviewed the SMSL DA9 amp. How about the SMSL SU9 DAC? I don't have it. I have tried the SU8S and I was very impressed. I really like that DAC. I have never tried the SU9 though. Did you get the TBA box set? Yes, I did. And I still haven't opened it up. Used to live in Austin. I'm trying to find someone. Okay, so if anybody super chats me, they're going to the front of the line. So going to the front of the line. All right. Hey, Ginger Hermit. Hey, I know Ginger. They won something in the Homes for Our Troops. Oh, I think they won the SMSL DA8S, if I remember correctly. They were unimpressed. Melee punchy bass, detailed mids, and just enough sizzle in the highs without being fatiguing. They're spectacular. Comfortable too. Melee punchy bass. Can someone can you put that in the comments so I can go back and take a look at that later, if you would please? And hey, if you're here, like the video. 'Cause I don't know. I guess you're supposed to like these. I don't know if that does anything or not. I love the VM1 you reviewed. Can you recommend a good mic for a condenser mic? Will it be noticeably better than USB? I don't know much about mics. The only mic that I have is the one that Ron told me to get. He's like, "Hey, get this one. It's a Shure USB, but it's can also be XLR." He just said, "Get that one," and so I bought that one. It's a Shure microphone. I think it was like 250 bucks. I don't know anything about microphones. All right, we're gonna go back up now. Ooh, are JBL Stage A190 any good? I'm hoping they are because the A130s are killer. And then you have right spiritual experience. Am I right? Bob Marley, you're right. Love the channel. Sorry, I'm gonna have to skip around a bit. We got Brett Aker. Dang good music from Canada. Okay, we're gonna love the channel. Quick question: looking for a speaker, budget around $2,000. It sounds great at low levels. Hmm, that's that's quite a budget. Frankly, I haven't really heard a lot of stuff above 1,000. Um, I think a speaker that's really good at $1,000 at low levels is the Wharfdale Evo 4.2, but you have to get the height right, and they're big, big. I think maybe smaller speaker. Oh, the SVS Ultra bookshelves. They're very good at low levels too. $1,000 for the pair. They're good. I like those a lot. Actually, it's funny because between the SVS and the ELAC Unify Reference and the Wharfdale Evo 4.2s, I like them all for different reasons. But if I just had to choose one, and it was really in because it's so easy and it sounds good wherever I put it, it'd be the SVS Ultras. Very good. Very good. $100 to $200 range. What headphones would be great? Would you get? Okay. So it depends if you want open back or closed back. For closed back, I would look at the AKG K361s or the AKG K37s. If you like more bass, the 371s. However, the 361s, after the ear pads kind of form to your head, very good. In the mid range, there is a bit of what I would call odd resonances every now and again. But it's interesting because the Focal Elesias and the AKG K361s sound kind of similar. Now, the Focals, of course, sound better, but for a closed back, they're very, very good. Very good. For an open back, the Hi-Fi 400 SE, the new Stealth Edition, I don't think you can beat at $150. Hey, Elf Spotter. T2 plus, Robert. Okay. Oh, that's a good point. I mean, if you want towers, hey, 999. Okay, 999. Ginger Hermit, Linusol products, Tripoin X HBB Melee. So, super chats get priority tonight. I'm sorry, and I'm not just here trying to pump you all for money. I'm just saying we're getting a lot of comments. All right, let me go back. Love the audio files are full of crap rants. Anything that didn't make it into the final cut. I watched it like 4 times. There's a few, well, it really was one take. And then what I do is I just kind of edit out some dead spots in there. There's a couple of things that I really wanted to say and then I forgot to put in there. I can't remember them off the top of my head. But for the most part, I think I got most of the stuff in there. But yeah, if I could only make system in my house as tight as the Boston system in my Chrysler 300, it's so perfect. I like a Chrysler 300. Very luxurious. Uh, I meant good amp for condenser mic. I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you use any Iron Maiden tracks? I do not. I think I have them in the Satanic Panic playlist, though. Headphone closebacks. I think the Creative Arvana Live is still the $50 closeback to beat. I have the single and warm, rich tone. They are EMU variants with wooden cups. Oh, I'll have to check them out. New Maiden is awesome. So XLS Encore or Crichton for the win, in your personal opinion, paired with restored NAD 2200 PE and matching 1155 preamp. It depends. If you're going to listen at lower levels, probably the Encore would be the way to go. If you listen to medium to high levels, I would personally choose the Crichton. It just has, you're going to be close to the wall, Encore. If you've got some room from the wall, Crichton. Um, that's just the way I would do it. They're both great, but for different reasons. Full count Cora, 806 is the winner. Fresh cut, looking good, bro. Thank you. Have you ever heard the Spica TC50S? I haven't. No. Have you considered reviewing the Sting XR SA1 headphone amplifier? I think it would be also be good if you start reviewing more headphones. I am going to start reviewing more headphones, and I have some. The problem is most people don't watch my headphone reviews very much. So mostly my speaker and amp and DAC videos folks watch. But there's a good number of folks that watch the VRM1 review. So I'm hopeful because I love headphones. I love them. I've got 3 pair over there on the bed. I love headphones. I love speakers too and amps and stuff too, but headphones are fun. It's just a different experience. Heart cables. Uh, that's what B Rock had to say. I agree. Heart is awesome. Hey, Randy, do you listen to hip hop? If so, what album, artist, etc.? Jules, I don't listen to a ton. However, the Into the Spider Verse soundtrack, I would consider to be mostly hip hop, and I love that record. Um, I do like Beastie Boys. I like Run DMC. I like Public Enemy, but I wouldn't say I listen to anything. I like NWA, DMX, the stuff from the '90s. I like that hip hop. I just don't. I'm not familiar enough with the newer stuff. H6. I don't know that one. Hey, Randy, do you okay? Hip hop from Klipsch R51 to Monitor Audio 100. Worth it? Yes. 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 Please. Yes. Without please put this Monitor Audio 100s in your room, or even the 50s in your room, and go take those R51s and make them surround speakers. Please. Please. Okay. When can I get replacement cables for the HiFiMan 400 SE? I've tried some from Amazon, but they break after a few months. Are they a 2.5 millimeter or a 3.5 millimeter into each cup? You can get Hart. That's what Brock was probably saying. Yeah, Hart cables. Ooh, KZ. KS10 Pro are way better than the 10T2. Mr. Castro, I have the KZ ZS10 Pro. I do like them. I like them. They're way more V-shaped than the 10T2s, but they are quite good at their price for sure. They're very V-shaped though. Do you like Santana? I do. I mean, there's not on my playlist, but yeah, it's not like I'm skipping if Santana comes on. Yeah, Santana's a great, very good musicians. Hey, Cheapy, you think audiophiles are a shrinking or growing community? I would say probably growing because I mean I think there's more folks that are probably getting into 2 channel now. But I mean anybody that's a music lover that's listening, I don't care if it's a receiver or whatever. If you like it, you can be an audiophile. It seems like gear is getting cheaper plus better, but music quality is getting worse. Wondering where it's all going. I think someone would argue that music quality is getting better with high res streaming and with better DACs. Um, Even an MP3 320 kilobit per second track, if you have the right DAC, can sound phenomenal. Oh, we got another super chat. Homer Jones, just $9.99. Thank you, Homer. Appreciate it. So I think things are getting cheaper, but I think the music quality is pretty good, frankly. I mean, things that are recorded today, if you listen to a rock or metal record that's recorded today versus a metal record that was recorded in the 80s, there's a stark difference. And it is way better today than it was in the 80s. Ooh, what's my best hi-fi experience so far? Um, Probably the Verum ones on the Geshelli Lab J2 DAC with a SMSL SH8S headphone amp. Previous to that, it was the M570s from Monoprice with the, I think, Denafreps Aries 2 going into the X Duo MT604. So the two things that those both those stores have in common are planar magnetic headphones, open back planar magnetic headphones, a great DAC, and a good headphone amp. Is that Gino? What up, Gino? How you doing, brother? You don't need to be giving me super chats. Gino's my boy from New Jersey, veteran, Navy veteran. Audioholic. I can say the fully upgraded Encores are the best bookshelf I've owned to date. Sold my $2,000 Revel Performa M106 because the Encores are better. Just my opinion. I hope that helps some people. I would agree. I think the Revels, from what I have heard, and people I trust, are pretty forward, don't have a lot of soundstage, and can be harsh. So I would think, yes, the Encores would be much better. I think the Encores are fantastic, absolutely fantastic, and breathtaking. Um, yeah. Uh, Periapt cables, very good. Yes, I think Zeos uses a lot of those as well. Do you run the Senior X balance to use all four amps? Uh, I haven't tried that. Do you like Metal Church? I think I've heard some stuff. I don't have any of their stuff on the playlist. I got the Sennheiser HD 450 BTS and the Lightning the funnel cable with the Helm bolt and title. I'm loving it. Very cool. I've got the Helm bolt. It's pretty good. What's your opinion on uh, Arundel speakers? I haven't spent any time with them. Any experience with Focal speakers? Not the speakers, no. Car speakers. I actually have Focal car speakers in my son's car. Music quality is absolutely getting better. The 90s are the low point, unfortunately. There's some good stuff recorded in the 90s. From hip hop from the 2000s, 2010s, you should try to listen to Kendrick Lamar, especially To Pimp a Butterfly, as well as MF Doom and Madlibs. Mad Villainy. But there's a lot more good hip hop. I bet there is, and I just need to start listening to some. Today's mid-fi is better than the unobtainable high-end gear from 30 years ago. There you have it. Bob Marley has spoken. Robert Martin says, Martin, monitor audio 100 or 50 or clips RP 500, home theater and music with source components. Oh, that's tough. They're both good. I love the RP 500M. I was actually listening to them last night. Monitor audio 150 are going to be a bit more. So they're both kind of U-shaped, but the Klipsch definitely has some a forward nature in its upper mid range. But on the 500, it's not as pronounced as it is on the 600. So I think they're. I'm actually going to say the Klipsch RP 500s are probably better for music and home theater in that because the monitor audios are scooped out a bit in the mid range, and while they do have sparkle, it's not. They don't have as much lift where vocals would be. So in that case, I actually think the clips are going to be better for home theater and music. That makes sense. Uh, Randy, do you know a streamer that doesn't have a built-in DAC? Yes, I do. It's called the iFi Zen Stream. More of a purist model that maximizes performance. Doesn't have to be something you tried. The only one that I know of is well, there's two. There's an SMSL streamer. I don't remember the model number, and the iFi Zen stream. Both pure streamers. You have to connect a DAC to them. They can be challenging to set up. Both of them can be challenging to set up, and it's not nearly as straightforward as some of the other streamers. I'm trying to KZ. Oh, there's John Shepler. KZ, KS10 Pro, again with about 10 others in my own little shootout. John Shepler. You should make a video of that, John. With your hair in a ponytail. Do you love the ELAC Unify UV5, and what's a good upgrade from those speakers? The first gen, yes, I do love them. They're a bit warm compared to the second gen. Ooh, good upgrade from those. Oh, depends on what you want. That's a good, it's a good speaker. Depends on what you want, because if that's a neutral to warm speaker. Um, there's a ton of stuff out there that's really good. It depends on what you want, what kind of frequency response you want. I like SVS. I think is hitting it out of the park. I think ELAC Unify series is very good. I think their debut reference is very good. I think Wharfdale, the Evo 4.2 or 4.1. Trying to think what else. I'm sure I'm leaving somebody else. You're still what I consider to be Tom Segura's lost audio from a brother, Laughing MAAO. If you're not familiar with him, give him a watch. Great comedian, straight to the point. I think somebody mentioned this, and I looked him up, and I believe, does he have a car show now? Something like that. Dead on mid-fi today isn't even. Oh, dropped it. Ooh, Audioholic, $5. What's the all-time favorite floor stainer and bookshelf ever heard, and favorite personal demo tracks? Let's see. Favorite floor stainer. Probably the T1 Plus by Emotiva. $700. I know it's probably not that exciting. I personally love that speaker. It's got ribbon tweeter, although people say no, it doesn't. It has an AMT. It's got one of those type of tweeters. Good mid range, lots of bass, but not too much bass. So even in a medium room, it's going to sound good. Extreme clarity. I love it. I love it. Love that speaker. Favorite bookshelves. SVS Ultras are up there, and then both the Crichtons and the Encores are up there. The ELAC Unify 2.0, definitely up there. They're all kind of tied. Yeah. Emotiva A100 jumpered for headphone amp to beat for hard to drive headphones. Keep up the good work, Randy. Thank you, Trevor. I actually had that. I never jumpered it, but I had it. I bought that in the TA100 and I sent that one back. Thanks for the advice on the streamer. You bet, J Benz. What up, Steve Zedman? Steve Zedman loves headphones. He's got 12 pair. Just kidding. Steve Zedman is just dipping his toe into the headphone pool. All right. Build some X-Statics from GR Research. Not everybody can just build a speaker. I think that's one of the things. I mean, I think we talk about DIY and we talk about how good DIY speakers are, and they are. They're very good. But not everybody can just build them. It's not that simple. And I've built 15, maybe 20 pairs of speakers, and each one has its different challenges. They're not easy. They're not quick. And if I'm taking all my time into consideration, they're not cheap either. We can flippantly say just get a DIY, but I think that's not the answer for most people. It's hard. And if you can do it, then yes, there is an extreme value that you can get from getting a DIY speaker. But some people just aren't interested in it. And frankly, I'm starting to be one of them. It's just too much time. It's a huge amount of effort, and they are fun. It's cool to do it. But at the end of the day, for me personally, right now, I'd rather just get a speaker and turn it on than have to build it right now. But the Encores are fantastic. The Crichtons are fantastic. And I think there's options out there that you don't have to build the whole things, but um, there's a lot of good stuff out there that isn't DIY. Guesstimate, how many different speakers have you listened to? I think probably since the channel started, over 50, I think. Um, I don't know. I'd have to go back. I try to do a pretty good job about putting them onto the speaker, review playlist. I don't know how many are in there. Um, I think probably 50 or maybe 60, maybe higher. Project Streamer Box S2 Ultra is a good streamer, no doubt. Get one used. There you go. Let's see. Somewhere in Texas. Where? Yourself. Talking on being PC is totally California. I'm actually from the Midwest, Nebraska. Um, so not from California, although I love California. It's very nice. At least the coast is. JC, have they been going up in price? Is it a collectible now? I don't know. Much appreciated. Calling it a night. Good night, Audioholic 2021. Good night. Call it a night. Keep up the content. Catch you all next time. Good night. Austin guys sound like Cali guys. I'm not in Austin. I'm from Fort Worth. What about speaker tuning, like changing resistors and whatnot? What about speaker tuning? Some people say that you can tell a big difference by, if you change resistor values and caps and stuff, you're going to change the crossover. So you're going to definitely change the way that the speaker sounds. Some people say better caps and resistors sound better. Speakers, dude, we hold out our vowels. Ready? What's better for 5.1? Towers and center, bookshelves and center, or three centers? I've never tried the three centers. I like bookshelves and a sub personally because it has more. There's more options, I think, for placement. And people say, well, a tower speaker takes up the same amount of space as a bookshelf with a stand, which is kind of true. But you can't put a tower speaker on a bookshelf. So it depends. And towers don't always sound the same as bookshelves, even in the same family. It depends. I've never tried three centers though for front the LCR. Never tried that. I think it would be cool though. Think about maybe doing a video all about DSP and how we can take advantage of it. Chris, you should go for that. I would love that. Would you rather? All right, I don't get that one. Okay. What's the anniversary date for the channel? Coming up, isn't it? I think it's October, end of October, maybe 17th, maybe the 19th. It's I think it's the late teens in October. I don't have a fancy schmancy stereo system. I do most of my music listening in my car. Am I still okay? Yeah, absolutely. One point, my car stereo is way better than my home stereo. Yeah, listen in your car. If that's the thing, man, get yourself a pair of headphones, a DAC, and an amp, man. Have a good time. You can get into that for $300-400. Yeah, I got the UB5s and the UF5s on sale when they were phasing them out. I listened to a lot of EDM. I added a rhythmic L12 to the mix, and it's great. Very nice. All right. Do you ever do a video on Aries 2 versus Bifrost 2 versus D90 for speakers? I did not. No, I didn't. That's a good catch, man. I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. Aries 2, it has the most soundstage and has the most sparkly top end. The D90 has the least amount of soundstage and is the warmest of the bunch, which is surprising because the Bifrost 2 is actually pretty warm. So if we're talking about soundstage, from best to worst, it would go Aries, Bifrost, D90. If we're talking about warmest to most neutral, we talk about D90, Bifrost, Aries. Personally, I'm a big fan of the Denafrips. I would buy the D90 last in that group, personally. But I like Soundstage. I like the immersion. If you want to go cheap with streaming, get a used Rusound Node 2 and bypass the DAC. Or you can get an Amazon link, but that's not going to work with everything. A Raspberry Pi. If you want to go really cheap, get a Raspberry Pi. Lumia. Probably the cheapest one. Also use my mini DSP with DRAC. Set my crossover for the towers to 80 hertz and not. Also run DRAC for everything under 200 hertz. Really sounds amazing, amazing. Yes, I was looking at some DSPs, mini DSPs with DRAC. Did you try a streamer with a Bifrost 2? Which streamers and how did they sound? Man, I've tried a bunch of streamers. Streamers sound generally how their DAC sounds, but for the most part, I would, the majority of the time, bypass the internal DAC, and I would run it through a different DAC. So I don't remember which streamers I listened to. I mean, I've listened to them all with their internal DAC. They all sound good. Which streamers and how do they sound? That's a tough question. They all sound a bit different because they have different DACs. I think if you're wanting like a really solid, amazing sounding streamer, then you probably, and I hesitate to say this, but you probably want to look at the iFi Zen stream or that SMSL. But be warned, it is not easy to get into them because they don't have a front end that's very good as far as a UI. In the age of wireless, there can be more wires than ever. Ever notice that? Yes, especially behind my cabinet and next to my bedside table with all my headphones. Enjoy the work, buddy. I tried to put systems in most rooms plus garage and back porch using Chromecast audios with all of them. It keeps skipping and whatnot. Internet the problem? I don't know. I don't know. Who's Norm? RAP Norm. Randy recently bought the IEMA T8 and it filled my soul with happiness. Very cool. Have you ever reviewed Rail Sub? I have not. Hey Randy, try the center speaker as LR mains. I think you'll like it. I would love to, but I don't have three of the same center channel. What up, Ace of Spades? Thoughts on the Emotiva A2 stereo amp? Would you recommend another amp in the price range? There's not a lot of other amps in the price range. There is the it's a Class D. Brock was talking about it. Andrew Robinson did a review on it. So is that one? That one's 500. You have the Vidar 700. You have the Crown. A2 is good. I haven't ABC'd that one, so I'm going to compare the A2 to the Vidar to the GPA series of Emotiva and see what they all sound like. But Vidar's really good. So is A2. Vidar's clean, very clean. One of the best values in integrated amps has to be the Outlaw Audio. Ever been on your radar? It has, but they've never reached out to me. I would love to. Over to you, Sorry. Have you ever kicked around the idea of opening a brick and mortar hi-fi store too? Oh, Bob. No, I wouldn't be interested in that. I think it would be fun to hang out, but I don't think even in Dallas Fort Worth, that's almost 7 million people. It's like 6.8 million people. Even in Dallas Fort Worth, I mean, they struggle to support, high end or even mid tier hi-fi stores. It's a sad deal. There's just people just don't want to go and look at them and look at that stuff. I think we're a small niche of the populace. It would be kind of cool, but I'm not interested in being a speaker salesman. I mean, I kind of am a speaker salesman, virtually, but I just say I'm not trying to sell the speaker. I'm trying to just talk about what's good about it, what people might not like about it. Put my woofer below movie screen and tweeter above the screen. Custom crossover to help in the phase. Anchors dialogue dead center. Very cool. Just running them without a sub and a sub, they sound so much better. I don't know. But I feel skeptical about adding a DAC, even though I have a shit full and heard a massive difference. Anybody looking for a good music suggestion, go search for it. The Dead South Live Boston. I started in car audio because that's where I spent most time listening. Good point. Car audio is great. What is the hardest to get dialed in? Can be difficult, yes. It's just an incredibly adverse environment for sound. Yeah, when you have like 65 or 70 dB of road noise, I mean, forget about high res music, right? You're going to hear any differences. But what do they call it? Dynamat and the doors and all that stuff. I never went quite that crazy, but it is difficult to dial in. I have several headphones, especially when you have like 4 speakers and a subwoofer going on in an enclosed area. I have several headphones. The $20 Sony MDRs is my go-to. Not bad for $20. Cool. Hey, Randy, have you ever listened to Totem speakers? I have not, but I've heard great things. Apple Music lossless and Atmos is amazing on surround sound. Oh, very cool. But it is. My mini DSP, where'd it go? XTZ. That's what Brock says. Is it XTZ? $500, I believe. All right. We popped up pretty hard there. Norm Macdonald died? It's so sad. He was like the best straight man out there. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. We lost it and it popped up. Okay. Oh, there it is. Castro, my mini DSP is my DAC, streamer, DSP, and preamp. It wasn't cheap, but it has a lot of features. It made sub integration really easy with the DAC. Isn't bad. Cool. Woke from a nap where you were in a dream. You were sitting in a movie theater against the wall. I asked you, sit based on the sound output of the theater, but woke up before you answered. That's sad, Randy, that I'm in your dreams. You have everyone else you can possibly dream about. Like, who's that lady? Selma Hayek. Like, you could be dreaming about Selma Hayek. And that's what I would suggest. I think I'm gonna get a shit lidar and a Denafrebs Aries 2 to go on my Warptail lens. Prepare yourself to have some musical fun because that sounds like awesome. Randy, have you ever heard DML panels, specifically solid panel speakers such as hard foam or plywood? Oh, we got going right to the super chat. Does paying money work? Is it worth the money to upgrade from the Klipsch R820F to the SVS Prime Towers? I have never personally heard the R820Fs, but the SVS Prime Towers are very good. And I would say, yes, it is probably worth it, knowing what I know about most Klipsch speakers that don't have R and P in the name. So I think it's probably a safe bet to go that way. All right, we're going to try to go back up. Okay. Okay, we're just going to start right here. RT81 and iFi Zen Phono, good combo. For sure. The Zen Phono is very good. RT81, I think the RT81 has a phono amp in it. If you're going to get to Fluence, I would look at starting at the RT82 and then going up. Because the RT80 and 81 both have phono pre's in them, but they also have different pulleys and they also have a different motor. So if I were you, I would spring for the extra $50, go to the RT82 because fundamentally the 82, 83, 84, and 85 are all the same cable. They just have different cartridges and then in some cases a different platter. So get the 82 would be if that's what your budget allows, get the 82. iFi Zen Phone is very good. Or you could get the shit Manny, save $50 to finance the RT82. So you can do it that way. If you can get the Manny. That's what I would do. But start with the 82 because the 82 is upgradable. You have a path forward with that one. if that makes sense. Ooh. Done right, the DML panel sound terrific. Done wrong, I'd rather listen to a crystal earphone. Very cool. Ordered my first pair of Klipsch speakers last night. I'm a new audiophile. Thanks for your help. Welcome, Evan. You're in the right place. Evans M, you're in the right place. Where's the barbecue, Randy? I had dinner at the conference. Wasn't much of a dinner. I'm actually hungry right now. Howdy, Randy. I picked up a $10. Right to it. Fire eyes. Hey, Randy. I finally got my Emotiva Basics PT1 and I love it. I just ordered the Basics A2 and I can't wait. And listening with my Sony SSCS5s. Thanks for selling it to me. You're welcome. I don't know if I sold you mine personally. I think I blew mine up. Actually, I think I need to get another pair because I put them on a vintage amp and did some funny things. So the PT1 is awesome because it has a high pass filter with the output. So when you get the A2, you can use the high pass filter into the A2 and then integrate a sub better with your Sony SSCS5s and even get more out of Sony SSCS5s. Awesome. All right, now we have Xperia. I think that's £5. Upgrade from Klipsch R51 ELAC 6.2 or monitor or question mark. Bought a Q3010. Q, okay. Love it. Only problem is lack of excitement. Yep. That's a good thing. That's a good point with the 3010s and the 3020s and the 3030s or the 3030i. The ELAC 6.2 is going to sound a bit underwhelming initially. Trying to think. If you're Orfdale, Diamond 12.2s, let's see, Dolly Spectre 2s are pretty good. If you can swing it, ELAC Unified 2.0s. But again, they're going to take a while to kick in. But any of those are going to do better than the R51, for sure. They're not going to sound as exciting initially, but give them time, and they'll kind of liven up a bit. Klipsch RP500M are a big step up from the R51. Big step up. So yeah. All right. Now we go back. Thank you for the super chats, gentlemen. Fire Eyes and Xperia. There we go back. Dropped out for a bit, so apologies for. Are the Hiko Aura 700s on your radar? I don't know those. Old Oppos play SACD. Yeah, somebody needs to buy Oppo and resurrect them. Yeah, Bob Marley. There used to be cool stereo shops. I remember. I can't afford what's in the store. That's why I shop on Craigslist and auction sites. Just picked up a pair of JBL L36s, and I think I'm in line. Very cool. Rennie, with your upgraded vinyl gear, how do you feel it stacks up against your digital front end? So that's an interesting point. So the RT85 with the i5 Zen phono, I couldn't tell a difference between that and any high res. Like if you had blindfolded me and I had a clean record on there, and I wasn't hearing any pops or clicks from the record, I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. Fantastic. And that was the Ortofon 2M Blue cartridge and the i5 Zen phono. Fantastic, fantastic combination. Finally got my Emotiva. Okay, yeah, we already talked about that. Will you ever review Tectons? Sure. I need to talk to him. Waiting for my double impact. I also vouch for the XTZ AT300, fantastic low class DN for $500. What monitor speakers have all the bass frequencies? Are all of them down to 20? Probably none. What do you think of having SVS Ultra bookshelves for LCR and Prime bookshelves for surround for home theater? I think that's a great combination. They have different tweeters though. They look the same, but they're not. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, you don't even really need to put the primes in the back. You can put, I don't know, the let's see, Sony SSCS5s. Save you a bunch of money. You're not going to tell any difference. Castro, you're kidding about Castro. Okay. Do you guys like NAD integrated amps? I'll tell you what, I got the C338. I think I'm in love. I had 4 of them. Yeah, the 338's pretty awesome. Have you tried the Sith Audio audiophile Q-tips? I have. I've used them. They market those as vintage audio cleaning devices. Hey, Mr. Randy, loving the show so far. Oh, hey, it's Richard. Hey, Mr. Randy, loving the show so far. ELAC 2.0, 5.2, good for the garage. It's good for anywhere, Richard. You gotta push them though with some power. Will my Yamaha RXA 2020 home theater receiver power the 4 ohm SVS primes? Are they 4 ohm? I don't remember 4 ohm. I don't remember that. I thought they were 8 ohm. Pretty sure the SVS primes are 8 ohms. Pretty sure. Will they though? I don't know. You'd have to look at like the receiver's spec sheet. Oh, we got another super chat. Chuck is Isidro. I've seen him before. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Clips RP400M versus Clips R15M. R15M. Because the R15M, I believe, is a precursor to the RP500. Yes, I think that's right. Although the 400M sounds pretty good. Is there an easy to drive bookshelf speaker with boosted bottom end? Yeah, the Yamaha S803. It's got a boosted bottom end there, Johnny. Pretty well. I think they're okay to drive. I think their sensitivity may be a little low. I think the monitor audio 50. I'm trying to think what's your Q Acoustics 3030i. You're talking about a boost bottom end, big time boosted bottom end. Hey man, I love your reviews on these. In your opinion, SMSL SA300 versus SMSL DA8S. DA8S, for sure. I like the DA8S. Very nice. Very nice. I was considering using the Sony SSCS5 as a 5.0 home theater setup. What are your thoughts? Keep up the good work. I think that's a great idea. Fantastic idea. I mean, you talk about if they go on sale, even at $118. So you're talking 1836. So you're talking $236 for 4 speakers, and you can just get another set and then just use one as a center channel. So don't make me do math. $340 for an entire 5-channel system and 1 extra speaker. I mean, they're incredible. But you're gonna need a subwoofer. But I mean, you're done, right? What do you think of Apple? What do you think of Apple's lossless? And should I just stick with Tidal when the Apple lossless is cheaper? It depends. I haven't spent much time with Apple Music for probably well over a year now. So if you're heavy into the Apple ecosystem, maybe. I think they're going to have some new headphones come out that can take advantage maybe of the high res music. The problem is I don't think like their Apple TVs or AirPlay isn't set up to even take advantage of like 24.192 or 24 anything really. I think it's 2444.1 is what they can do over Apple AirPlay. There's other things to consider too, because so if you're airplane, this is kind of off the topic. If you're airplaying something, it's converting whatever you're airplaying, even if it's FLAC. So let's say you're listening to FLAC through Tidal or FLAC through Amazon HD, it's converting it to ALAC, or even worse, it's converting it to AAC, and then it's sending it over to whatever you have. So I'm not saying AirPlay's bad, but I'm saying there's some conversions going on with your music. So really, at that point, there's no lossless anything. It's being converted all over the place. Not saying that it's bad. It probably sounds pretty good, but let's keep that in mind. I know we went off kind of on a tangent. Brock, John Darko says there's going to be lossless wireless um, Bluetooth. But again, you're going to need all the Bluetooth stuff. So it's going to be a while before they have any of the new. It's going to be a while before they have new codec. It's going to be even longer before they have any headphones with that new codec in it. Do you have any experience with AdCom gear? I don't. I do not, but I've heard great things. Loved your rant video. So true. By the way, have you tried the new Buchart S400 Mark II? Anyway, stay awesome. I have not, Chuck. I think Zero Fidelity has them, and there's a good, really cool guy. Not saying Zero Fidelity isn't cool. Really cool guy named Nemo Propaganda. I think he's got a pair as well. I think there's some other folks that have pairs, but I do not. Hey, I was gone from channel for a while. Now I'm back. Have a shit Modius deck, which is great. Would Bifrost be a major upgrade or not worth it? You're gonna actually the Bifrost is gonna be a pretty different sound signature than the Modius. So if you have the Modius and if you like it, I would just stick with it. Yeah, I'm gonna spend some time with it. But the interesting thing is the Denafrips Ares 2 sounds like a upgrade over the Modi, and I'm thinking the Modi S more than the Bifrost. The Bifrost is really a different sound signature. Um, I know it's strange. It's strange, but it's true. No, you cannot. Only lost this via wired. Oh, I must have missed a question there. Name a good dynamic speaker other than Klipsch. Musical as well. Musical speaker. That kills me. Um, let's see. Mm, trying to think. ELAC 2.0, JBL Stage A130. I don't like that term musical speaker. I think they're all kind of musical. The only time I've ever used the term musical, Ron, Ron and Feliciano both dropped in 1999. Get yourself a pizza. Well, Feliciano, the joke's on you because when I get pizza, it's like $40. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Feliciano. And new record day. Unfortunately, I'm sick. Ron, I feel bad for you, man. But I wanted to stop by and say hello. Take care, everyone. Ron, you're such a good guy. Boo, big boss. Disagree with you. Fire eyes. Okay. Um, has the S9 Pro replaced your Dragonfly? So for day to day, it has. It certainly has. Um, but the Dragonfly Red is much warmer. So if one has a overtly analytical or even fatiguing headphone or speaker for that matter, the Dragonfly Red I think is a better combination with it. But for my purposes, yes, the S9 Pro has definitely replaced the Dragonfly. DAX are the new cable scam. There you've had it. There, Big Boss says it. There you go. I don't know, man. Listen to a Denafreps and then listen to a Zendak and tell me if you hear a difference, um, or if it's just all snake oil. They're doing a pretty good job. If it's snake oil, they're doing an excellent job of it because there's an awful lot of expensive DAX. Um, I'm just gonna flat out disagree with you, Big Boss. I mean, hey, what the hell do I know? I've only listened to about 20 of them. Um, the most musical speaker I know of is one playing music. Get some Menudo. Feel better, Ron. What is your opinion of Sherwin Vega? I haven't heard any of the new ones. You said new record day, and I immediately thought of Rex Manning Day. Laugh out loud. Get some crumb. Okay. Have a great night. Good night. I love the community here. Thanks for putting this channel together. You are welcome, man. I appreciate you guys showing up to be the community. Shh, shh. Shadiztic? Baztard. $20. Thank you. What you doing in Texas, Jimmy? I'm working. Kind of. Best snake oil ever. Hey, yo, hit that like. Sean, Randy, that full of crap video is the best one on YouTube. Thanks, Sean. I can't believe I made it. Um, it just started pouring out of me. Um, has anyone tried the topping MX3 with a USB dongle on an iPhone? Mine shows up in iOS, but music doesn't play. You know what? I haven't tried. I do have an MX3. I haven't tried a USB from the iPhone. You may need to get actually a camera adapter because if it's just a USB dongle from the iPhone, it actually doesn't grab the music. The camera adapter, though, separates out. It's weird. I know. Camera adapter, it looks identical to the USB adapter, but it actually separates out the music and the media. So that's the only way you can get music out of the iPhone. Thought my SNC S5s were amazing, but then listened to my 25-year-old Primus 150s. Whoa, I think I might even like the Primus better. Did you ever hear those? I did not. Hey, big boss, $5. What is that? Looks like a game controller with feet. No face. It's bobbing up and down. It's a cool emoji. I get some sleep, Randy, in Germany, and it's after 4:30 a.m. Fire eyes. Either you should be getting up or you should be going to bed, but do one of them. Go to bed, my friend. Thank you, Fire Eyes. I appreciate it. Good night. I don't know how to say good night. You can talk. That's all I know how to say, Jeremy. Frequency Deutsch. Do you think a sound bar can be hi-fi? Actually, it's funny you say that. I have the Andrew Jones Pioneer. It sounds pretty good, I think. Um, so I'll give a little bit of a preview. I have got the Klipsch Cinema 600, I think, right now, and it's pretty good at playing music. Randy, if there's one thing I'll listen to, it's you. Listen to you. It's Dax. It's not Snake Oil. Hey, I agree. I mean, again, proofs in the pudding. I know a lot of folks. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's saying Dax or Snake Oil, but if it's Snake Oil, it sounds different to me. Um, or the Snake Oil in comparison to the other Snake Oil sounds different. I don't know, man. You can call me whatever you want. You can say Dax or Snake Oil. You can tell me I'm an idiot, which is fine. But the one component that has made the most significant impact on my musical enjoyment has been the Denafrips Aries 2, which is a DAC. So take that for what it's worth. Um, I think anybody is, I mean, gets a shit modi or whatever and is listening out of if DAX or Snake Oil, listen to music out of your computer through their 3.5 millimeter. Okay. And then hook up a decent DAC. S9 Pro, whatever. S9 Pro from High Diz, $120. Listen to your computer on some headphones, 3.5 millimeter out, and then listen on the S9 Pro. And then tell me Dax or Snake Oil. Just a little challenge. Contempt prior investigation. Whatever. Do it. And then tell me I'm wrong. Thanks for videos, Randy. Good night. Good night. What is your opinion of the old Sherwin? I haven't heard the old Sherwin Vegas. My first DAC topping DX7 blew my mind over the stock variance receiver. Thank you, Christopher. I'm glad you had the same experience as I've had. Topping doesn't work with iPhone. Oof, I'm so sorry. Oh, Aries 2. She's sexy. Hey, Feliciano, what do you think of that? Your new Aries 2. Enjoying that analog accent. Do you think the Bifrost 2 would be a significant upgrade from a topping D50S? Topping D50S is pretty good. That's the Saber deck. That's the one I have, actually. It's pretty good. Bifrost, you're going to hear bigger soundstage. It's an upgrade for sure. Whether it's significant, I don't know. It's a different sound. The Bifrost is fuller. No pun intended, because they actually have a DAC amp called the Fulla. Fulla. I love my shit Modius and There you go. There's the joke right there. I made the joke, and the joke is right underneath it. I'm American, but just work over here. Oh, very cool. All right. Then hello in American. Actually, I have both the camera adapter and the USB. None of them seem to work. Oof. I'm sorry, Santiago. That stinks. Maybe there's, I don't know. I don't know. My deck blew my mind. Carl Sittler. I always like Carl when he says something because I know who it is because he's got his nice picture there. Um, Upgraded from really cheap basic SMSL deck, and it was a huge difference. You need to check out the One Step Mobile Fidelity records. They're superb. Does anyone have a connection to get port? Oop, got that about that joke. My deck blew on it. Okay. I came to YouTube to find some decent AV speakers and wound up with a Modi and Magni. This came in today, and the best sounding headset I've ever owned. Thanks to you. Well, thank you. I am so glad you're having a good time. Isn't this hobby fun? It's very fun. We should all be having fun. Hey, iBit Consulting. I have a conundrum. I think my LG V30 audio output is better than my MIDI. Well, that's a good phone. It's got a good DAC in it. Problem is, I don't making them anymore. So you better hoard them. Better go onto YouTube, or not YouTube, onto eBay and buy some more of them. All right. Enjoy Snake Oil. Okay. I often wonder if people hear with different resolutions. That I have a hard time hearing. Anything above 1644.1, I can't really tell apart. I upgraded from a really cheap base. Okay, you need to check out the One Step Mobile. Okay, we're through these, Randy. What's up, boys? Okay. Dun, dun, dun. I bet. Okay, here we go. Here we are. Here we are. I only trust the cheap audio man. ELAC Unify 2.0 or the Emotiva T1 Pluses I'm buying from Australia. Mm. God, what is the shipping going to be like on those? The 2.0s, the ELACs, are more level, flat, but yet still have sparkle and still have full bass when the song calls for it. T1 Plus though it's a bigger experience. Although the ELAC probably soundstage vertically, but they do for soundstage vertically. It depends. It depends. I'm sorry. It depends on your amp too, because the T1 Pluses are actually, even though they're 4 ohms, this is a tough one. Comes down to price. I can't make that call. I just can't because I don't know what you're going to be paying in shipping. Cannot. I can't. Do you need to use a lightning camera adapter to get full lossless out of iPhone? Yes. That's been my experience. And it's interesting because I for the longest time thought that the Android was the more audiophile-ish phone. But the interesting thing about the Android is it actually resamples everything, I think, to 2496, or the top end sampling is 2496 unless you get the USB Audio Player Pro. But then you can only use Tidal and Qobuz, I think. The interesting thing about an iPhone though is if you get the camera adapter, you get full res right out of it into whatever DAC you have. So on Android, you have to get the USB audio player, which is a kind of a pain in the rear to mess around with. And even then, you can't do like Amazon Music with it. So it's interesting that the iPhone is actually gives you full resolution. However, the Android has a global EQ, so you can just EQ whatever you want. Anything you just pull up sound settings and go into advanced sound settings, and you have an EQ right there. So I find it kind of ironic. On one hand, you get full resolution, so if you're purist, the iPhone with a camera adapter might be probably the way to go. However, if you're like me and you're just like, oh, I want to EQ, I want to have some fun, I don't really care about, then the Android's probably the way to go. It's very interesting. You wouldn't think the iPhone would be like the audiophile phone, but in many cases it is. You should brand Cheap Audio Man certified equipment reviews, kind of like the audio version of Consumer Reports. Yes. Well, we did a joke website called ASMAC.org. So I'm thinking about putting some things up on ASMAC. I'm Jacob from Tel Aviv, Israel, and it's now 5:40 in the morning, and I'm awake. Hey, Jacob. Heard great things about Tel Aviv. My brother went there a lot for work. Can you try LG V30 and tell me what you think? It's so good. I don't need to try it. I mean, Brock, who I hang on every word. If Brock says it's true, then it's true. I trust him. We have very similar sensibilities when it comes to music, and he loves them so much that he's thinking about ordering more from eBay to hoard them and then sell them when they completely go away. I don't have a problem with dongle decks though, so I'm cool with it. But I think the V30 is. I mean, you can probably get them for $100, maybe more now that they're not making them anymore. I recently bought a monolith 15-inch subwoofer. Have you had a chance to hear it? I have not. I do have a monolith subwoofer at work though. Well, not a mono price. Excuse me, I'm yawning. Ooh. Burner. Hey, yeah, Randy, definitely having fun. Thanks for taking the time to interact. You bet. Agreed on resolution. I mainly listen to the CD. I have a friend that is really trying to decide on whether to get an Aries 2 for his Paradigm Studio 80s, and he's coming from a Yamaha Universal Player Cirrus Logic deck. It's a big step up. Yes, I think it's a significant step up. I think that is the highest rung on the ladder for me personally that you can get. I think that's the biggest bang for the buck. Some people say that there's one step up over the Aries, and people are saying that it's even better. But at $700 or $800, whatever the conversion rate is, that's like the epitome for me for digital music. Um, it just doesn't get better. I use a camera adapter with iPhone with AudioQuest Cobalt Blonde BLO 05S. Cobuzz sounds great. If that's snake oil, I love snake oil. Yeah, the DAC chip in the Cobalt is the same DAC chip that is in the S9 Pro. I love the S9 Pro. Now, the Cobalt does MQA as well, so if you're into Tidal, the Cobalt's the way to go. But yeah, yeah, I know kind of what he's talking about. If it's the similar sound, I would imagine it is because it's the same DAC chip. So yeah, Randy, I'm excited. I have an eBay purchase coming tomorrow, an Onkyo TX 2500 receiver to replace the one I bought in 1976. Ooh, 45 years old. You got the mileage out of her, or it, whatever. I don't want to offend anybody. Can't wait to buy a gallon jug of Sith Audio audiophile grade snake oil. That's actually a funny bit right there. They take a big thing of cooking oil and put it on there. Sith Audio snake oil, and then drink some of it. Is it too expensive to be a hobby for me? I decided on a couple components of each type and call it a day. Oh, we just popped up. Time is it? 9:46. How long have we been doing this? Hour 13 minutes. Ooh, Carl Sittler says motorcycles have been his lifelong hobby since age 6. Very cool. I was into motorbikes as well. I actually still have one in the garage. Hasn't run for a while. Um, I like motorcycles. I put most of my cash into silver in my house and my 2 rentals. Yeah, got a big bag of silver in the corner, 50 pounds of it. I actually bought some silver during the Obama administration and resold it. And thought, like, I had a box and hauled in and sold it. It's very interesting. If you buy actual silver, you'll buy it above spot price, and then if you sell it, you'll sell it below spot price. So there's a reason why there's, hey, come buy silver because they sell it for higher. I think anyway, they buy it for lower. So there's always a margin there for them. Is the Modi 3 very much better than the topping BC3? Yes. Yes. They're not really the same though. The BC3 is a Bluetooth receiver. The Modi 3 is a full-on DAC that has 3 digital inputs. Thank you giving the VRM1 Mark II an impartial review. Yeah, I try to give everything an impartial review. I love that headphone. I think it sounds fantastic. It's frankly right now it's my favorite headphone. It's a very close tie between that and the Sundara, but I like the Viren. The ear pads, wonderful, very good. Have you ever heard any of the monolith planar headphones from Monoprice? Certainly. M570, the M1060, the M565. I think those are the ones that I've had. I still own the M570 and the M565. The 1060s, I ended up selling them. They're good, but I didn't think they were as good as the 570s, which were cheaper and smaller. I really like the 570s. Very good. And they sometimes they'll go down to like $200 or less. It's the same driver as in the Sendy Iva, and then the same driver. There's two. There's a blonde that had the same driver, and then the Sendy Iva, and then the M570. There might have been another one, but the M570 was the cheapest one. And yeah, it's not built fantastically, but it's good. Have a good night. All right, Gordo. Where's Gordo at? Good. There you are. Brock is the man. He's definitely tremendous value when it comes to all things audio. That is well. You guys are both. You guys are both my favorites. El Gordo Audio is my favorite Spanish-speaking audiophile. I don't know why. I was just gonna say que quiero decir. I don't know why. That means like, what did you say? I just popped in my head. It's all the Spanish I know. I'm slowing down, gents. I might need to call it a night. Might need to go down and order $40 of pizza. Oh, I'm so tired. Um, Gordo took my advice. I'm gonna go over to Gordo's house for breakfast next week. Randy, have you tried any of the iFi eye purifier products? I have not. I'm using the SpitF and the USB version with great success. You know, I wish I had that last night because I was actually getting some noise, and I figured out it was actually the USB connection. So I connected to the same source via optical, and the noise went away. Could have used that last night. Any time to go. Enjoy your $40 pizza. I can't do if I here's the problem. If I order $40 for the pizza, I eat $40 for the pizza. Now, I don't need that. Get some sleep. It's not worth killing yourself over. I'm not killing myself. I'm just tired. I need to run a 15-inch USB cord to my upcoming car build from iPhone to Helix DSP. Any recommendations on brand cable that isn't $500? Monoprice. Monoprice actually has really long USB cables, and they're pretty good. They're very good, actually. Yeah, Monoprice. Monoprice USB. All right, gents, I think I'm going to call it a night. So, I'm assuming it's all gents in here, but hey, ladies, I'm calling it a night too. So, hope you all have a great week. It was great seeing you. Thank you so much for all of your support. It was a great time tonight. And check out Patreon if you guys want. Like, because I check Patreon multiple times a day. I don't always check my emails. You don't always live stream, but I always check Patreon. If you ever want to get me, Patreon, there's a way to go. I'm telling you, you have to sign up for Patreon, but I'm just saying, if you want something $2 or $3 a month, I'm looking at all the messages all the time. Anyway, good night. Have a great night. Be safe. Be kind. Be kind to one another.